How to save time while solving WU BBE or WU WiSo entrance exam questions, because 2 hours for 33 questions, or in other words 165 statements, is just not a lot of time on the entrance exam. Let me introduce you to a wonderful method which whenever you can use will save you a lot of time, and which I also use quite a lot in my task explanations as one of the possible approaches. And it's called plugging in numbers. The beauty of multiple choice is that no one will check your working outs and solutions, and they will only mark the final answers. And however you get to the right answers is completely up to you. And plugging in numbers, for example, in the statement, you have a statement about the finance department of the company with the following growth function, and it says that the function needs more than 10 years to double, so to go from 10,000 to 20,000. There are 2 approaches here, so the mathematical or the scientific approach would be to set the function equal to 20,000 and to solve for t using ln. Because on the calculator that you're allowed to take with you on entrance exam, you cannot really choose the base of the logarithm. That is why it's either lg, so the base of 10, or ln with the base of e. And then you solve for t and you get the actual years, and then you choose if it's more or less than 10 years to mark the statement as correct or incorrect. Another approach here, which is much faster, is just to have the function, set t equal to 10, solve it and see what happens. Because if you get something after 10 years which is less than 20,000, you will need more than 10 years, therefore the statement is going to be correct. And if you get something that's over 20,000, therefore you will need less than 10 years, therefore the statement is incorrect. So yes, you cannot always use this approach because for some tasks it's just not possible, but whenever you can, use it because it will save you a lot of time. And the scenario where this approach of plugging numbers will waste your time is the shapes of the graphs. Whenever you have a graph-based task or where you will need to know the graph transformation, so the rules of how they shift to the left and to the right, and so on and so forth, is not ideal to plug in numbers. So if you forget the shape of the graph, of how it looks like, what are the possibilities, increasing, decreasing, concave up, concave down, of course you can plug in a few numbers into the x values to get the y values and to see more or less the shape. But this will take time. This is a last resort. If you can, please memorize all the main graph shapes and with different coefficients, how they change, because this will save you a lot of time in the function-based exercises. And if you're preparing for the WU BBE entrance exam now, but you're not sure where to find sample tasks that are exam-like and are based on students' feedback from 2025 and the previous years, check out my blog where I'm posting a lot of them with explanations and files where you can just download the tasks and solve them yourself to mimic the offline exam conditions with a calculator and with a pen, and then the file with the solutions to double check your answers. Please, the one note that I have to make here is that don't look at the solution straight away. Don't train your brain right now to think that you can just press a button or open another file where you will have the solutions, because on the exam it won't be the case. You won't have a magic button or a magic page with all the answers right in front of you, so you have to train yourself now to take the harder way and to really think about the task and solve as many of them as you can, because taking the harder way now will pay off on the exam day. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more educational and subject-specific videos with example of exam-like tasks where I give you advice on how to approach them.